In time with Shockwve. Enjoy.
Alrighty, hey guys, Shockwve again. You just saw me a little bit ago. Welcome back. This is a Hat in Time beta build, far from finished. You see on the bottom. Beta speedrun. I'm gonna be collecting 14 hourglasses in this run. This beta is insanely broken, if you couldn't guess. It's gonna be very short, very quick, and there's tons of glitches. So anyway, in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Hat in Time. This is also like a 3D collectathon platformer, like Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64, so on and so forth. So no need to worry about how to understand this game. If you've played a platform before, you know exactly what's going to happen. So nothing new here. I'm going to be collecting 14 hourglasses, which are, again, like the stars, the jiggies, so on and so forth, whatever game you played, the medallions. And then I'm also be collecting these things called badges, which are like power-ups for Hat Kid. Apparently, I missed the load, so I have to do a backup jump here. My controller's acting up. I might have to actually just restart this, but never mind. We'll go with it. So these are the badges over here in the corner. These are like your upgrades in the game. If you play Paper Mario, you sort of understand how badges work. You have one for a certain type of slots, one for jumping, and then you have one for a right bumper action, and then one that's automatically done over time. So this is the timepiece right here. Oh, cool! I got a neat trick. So that's like a dive timepiece glitch. If you dive on the same frame, you grab an hourglass, you just go through the map. Totally didn't mean to do that. But yeah, so there's 3 different types of badges. I'm going to be unlocking 2 badges in the run. Each badge that you collect is worth 1 badge point, and each badge has a certain number of points that it needs to unlock. So the first badge I'll be unlocking requires 2. The second badge I unlock needs 3 to unlock. So the first badge I'm going to be collecting more badges in this level so I can unlock it and then do a glitch in the next level, which is really stupid and breaks a lot of the secret levels. If you've played Mario Sunshine, you know what kind of secret levels I'm talking about. It's like the levels where Flood was not with you, so it's just a platforming puzzle. So they kind of took the idea from that and made it their own. So, this bird's in the way. Gotta get him out of the way. I'm gonna grab this badge, unlock the hover badge, which now gives me an extra hover like this. So now I can hover, and I now have an extended jump, basically, so I can do a bunch of other cool tasks with that. I feel like my left and right axis are inverted, or maybe I'm used to poi. That's the second timepiece. Again, that's already 2 timepieces within the span of just a few minutes. But now I'm going to do probably the first major glitch of the run, and it entirely breaks a sequence of events that you have to go through to complete a level. I'm going to do a thing called load clipping. This game will take your input during loading screens. So if I simply hold up during this loading screen, I can clip through the floor and start the secret through the map. Very broken, and again, it skips a whole item that I would have to get. But I don't have to worry about that item anymore. And then now here's a trick called infinite badges. So I'm going to hover, take off the badge, and then fly. Don't worry about it, not a big deal. If you use a badge, and then while you're using that badge, you pause and then take the badge off, you can actually have that effect with you the whole time. I actually overshot it for some reason. I'm just going to restart the level here. I guess my settings are unlocked. That's not what I'm used to. That's why. We're going to try that infinite badge thing again. So I actually overshot it because I'm still ascending vertically, but I can actually fly horizontally. So I'm going to just fly right to the end of the level, grab this timepiece, and boom. There we go. Again, infinite badges are really broken in this game. You could do that with almost every badge in the game that requires something to activate it. So anything that requires an A button press or anything that requires the right bumper press, you can activate that and get an infinite version of that. So now we're going to go do a boss fight. Alright, cool. Got a neat little trick there. If you dive boost off a slope surface, you get an extra boost of speed, actually. So I dive off the downward slope section of the meat so I can get a little bit of extra distance. Now, this is a boss fight. You just smack them with your umbrella. This introduces you to jumping on the enemies to have to take them out. So you hit them once to get rid of their shield that pops up. You hit them 3 times, get the shield, and then you can do that. So now, at this part, it's just like a Donkey Kong minigame, so you have to just dodge these barrels. There's not really much else you can do at this point, besides just dodging these barrels. There's going to be an interesting trick coming up in a second. I'll explain what goes on now, because it takes a little bit to kind of understand what's going on. You saw, actually, in that secret, I actually overshot that timepiece a little bit. That's because physics are tied to frame rate in this game. So if you play at a higher frame rate, your physics act differently than they would at other frame rates. So you have sort of different gameplay that can happen based on your setup. At 12 frames per second, which is a frame rate setting that I can change it to manually in the graphics settings, I can do some weird stuff. So like I can do this, and if I double jump and hover, I can teleport into his hitbox and kill him like automatically. I'm totally off. So I'm gonna try that again. So there we go. Alright, so I gotta wait for this counter to go up, and then I can leave the level. So again, the physics change at 12 frames per second. So when I try to hover in place, the game gets really confused about what I'm supposed to do, and it just hovers me in place, but thinks that I got stuck. So it tries to fix my position, so it teleports me to the last place that I stood still, which happens to be inside that Mafia's hitbox. And the safety system will kill anything when you teleport to it. And I'm gonna abuse that again in this next level. So this is the actual boss fight you're supposed to go through. That's just giving you a taste of how bosses sort of work. Then you can really abuse that over here in this next level. You can skip like a 5-minute boss fight. It's insane. So I'm also gonna do another trick called Malvin Clip. This window over here has an invisible ledge on it. So if I grab it at the right angle, like this, come on. It's actually a really precise angle to grab this. So I can jump out of the map, get on top of it, and then I can go all the way through this area, underneath this vent, and hit that trigger out of bounds. And then I can grab this badge over here. So this is the Mafia boss. We're going to go fight him in a second, but I don't want to fight his henchmen. So I'm going to do a gate skip. So I'm going to jump on this statue like this, and I can just jump over the gate. And then I'm going to change my frame rate to 12 FPS to do Mafia boss skip. Or I'm going to super stomp him like this. Boom. He dies in one shot. I just saved like 5 to 7 minutes by doing that quick kill. Because there's a whole bunch of phases. His health is not hit based, it's cycle based. So what you have to do is just get him into a hittable state, and then you just keep wailing on him for a bit until eventually he dies. Alright, I'm gonna go for a thing called Axe Select Skip. Got it. That's a 0 to 2 frame window that I can click on that, and I can actually skip immediately and don't have to watch a bunch of extra cutscenes about levels popping up. Alright, so this is Sprint Badge. Sprint Badge is also broken. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually do this level normally. I'll use Infinite Sprint later, but I don't need to use it now. What I'm going to do is actually cut this race a little close, because you could use Infinite Sprint to speed it up, but really don't feel like wasting time to set up Infinite Sprint when I don't really use it that much. So I'm just going to go through this race normally, or I guess the fast way. You're not meant to do this. You're supposed to get another badge and then come back and then cheat your way to win the race. But instead, you can just do that and just actually beat it really quickly if you have good movement. Again, you're not supposed to beat him by normal movement. You're supposed to actually use a badge. So now we're going to go back into this level. I'm going to spawn... Didn't get it. So I'm going to spawn up here because I can use this to get a little bit of extra boost into another secret level. This is one of the few levels that we actually can't skip using badge tricks, really. We can speed it up a little bit, but we can't skip it outright. Which, I mean, at least thankfully there's one level that we can't skip outright. Because these secret levels are really fun to do legitly. There's a category where you're not allowed to use these badge tricks. And it speeds it up. It makes it a lot more fun of a category to run. So, this one I will be doing legitly. I missed a little bit of a run there. I'll go for it. So that's a sprint jump into a hover, into a double jump, into a dive. It's a neat little fast set of inputs, and it looks really cool if you can pull it off. It does use a lot of energy, which you can see in the bottom right corner. I have basically about 10 dots, but each of them counts for 2 points. So I have about 20 points of badge energy that I can use. I have to make sure that I conserve my energy carefully because there's no way to refill it in these levels. You can refill it by collecting those little green orbs in the levels, but in the secrets there are none. So again, you have to manage your energy carefully. There's actually 8 match points on the bottom. I miscounted. So that super stomp trick, I'm going to abuse that same safety system right here. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to stop moving during this whole section. All right, so that's actually already screwed, but I'm not going to stop moving anymore, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all these tickets and not stop moving because the game thinks that the game knows that the current place that I stood still last was the top of that box right there at the bottom. So what I can do is utilize the fact that the game thinks that's the last place I stood still. And there's a magical wall that I can dive into. And the game doesn't really know what to do for some reason. It's just this wall. There's not really another wall here that you can do this on. There's some other places, but this is the easiest wall. So I'm going to grab this, and then I'm going to dive and then hold forward into this wall. And I'm going to teleport to the last place that I stood still, which happens to be all the way over here, which is really close to the vault, which I collected these tickets to open. So now I can just do this, and there you go. I'm at the end of the level. And that's the end of Mafia Town. I've already collected more than half of the timepieces in the game. So now we're going to head to the second chapter, which is Subcon Forest. There's 2 levels and 2 secrets that I can do there. I'm going to open this door. Whoops. Slightly tight angle. So now we're going to get the hook shot in this level. This is only required for one specific point. You can technically skip it and not use it in the rest of the run, but there is one spot in the second to last level where you have to use it. There's no way to get around that door. If we could, we would save a good chunk of time and skip getting the hook shot in altogether. I'm going to go back into Subcon Caves and do a neat little trick called Cork Skip. This is like a really precise hover jump. So you can jump on this cork and then time your dive and double jump correctly and get this hover so you can barely make it up this ledge and then do the platforming in this area. Being in mind, there's a giant invisible wall to my right that I have to avoid getting in contact with, which I successfully avoided. It doesn't extend all the way up. It only extends partially of the way up. But you can get around this invisible wall and skip this cutscene. It saves a couple seconds over actually just watching the cutscene and do it normally. Now I'm going to head back into that level and then do the secret. Because I'm doing these also in a specific order. Because you notice, whenever I complete a level, this little animation plays. What I'm trying to do, fortunately didn't get it there. I did try to do another axe select skip. So I'm going to manipulate whatever order I do in these to skip one of those animations at the end. I could technically do the second level right now, but I'd have to watch that cutscene, which would waste a bunch of time. So I'm doing the secrets first, and then everything else second. This is why infinite hover is broken. I'm just going to jump over here, hover, and fly. And I'm going to fly right to the end of the level. Skipping the entirety of this platforming section. It's a real shame because the platforming in this particular one is really cool. If you do it perfectly, you can hit first cycle and really just kind of fly through the whole thing. Pun intended. But instead, you just infinite hover and then just fly to the end of the level. So, there you go. End of that secret. Again, it's unfortunate that most of the secrets are skipped using this method because they are really fun platforming challenges. And if you do, like, look into this game, I'd recommend doing the non-glitched categories because they're way more fun to run. They require a lot more platforming. A lot more interesting, at least in terms of a run and execution standpoint. So here we're going to do the secret first, and then we're going to do the level. Like I said, just skip that animation in the menu to save a few seconds. That's a little bit of manipulation, so I can add into the door here. The secret has a button hidden on this wall here that you wouldn't see unless you went in first person, but you don't have to go in first person. You can just hit the button on the wall, luckily. This hover can be a little annoying. You can clip on the light pole that spawns next to you, and then there's also the timepiece. Alright, I'm going to end up dying for a second, but that's because I forgot to re-equip hover. It's not really a huge problem. Because, again, I can just do this and re-equip hover for later. I should still be within a cycle to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip out of the hover right here and get it there. Fly right to the end of it. That was actually still faster than doing it normally. And now we're going to go actually do the level. This level is a nightmare for most runners now because of the frame rate on it now. I'm going to switch my frame rate twice in this level. I'm going to switch it once to 30 frames per second to try to do a trick called Instant Roach. I'm going to try to manipulate Queen Vanessa, who's the owner of this mansion that we're basically invading. I'm going to try to manipulate her position in an exact way, so that way some script of her AI doesn't fire correctly, and then I can actually get on this piano, which will get her to come into this room, and then I can hit it again immediately, which will then cut her to actually come into the room, and then I can fake her out. So let's see if I can get this movement right. Possibly got it here. Didn't get it. Oh, I did get it. I got fake Instant Roach. What is this? There you go. Alright, so again, that trick is like really specific. Oh, she's in the hallway. Let's risk it for the biscuit. Okay, cool. And then once I get up to the top floor over here, I'm going to switch my frame rate again to 12 FPS. Because 12 FPS, I get the most boost out of my jump on this low frame rate. So I'm playing this at a low frame rate to get... Because this is the fastest form of movement in this level. I can't dive in this level. So the best form of movement is to change my frame rate to 12 and jump around everywhere. So I'm gonna grab another balloon. I'm gonna pop this so I can get the key. Don't worry about this. She will not be able to catch me. And then I'm gonna flip this. Yep. It is best to play this game in PowerPoint slideshow mode. And this does save, like, actually a significant amount of time running this at 12 FPS, because you get such a boost in your jump. Like, I managed to get out of the room before she got out of the shower. That doesn't normally happen at 60 FPS. You normally have a couple seconds where you're just sitting around and, whatchamacallit? Where you're just sitting around waiting because you can't get out fast enough. So, alright, so this tech smash is going to be fun. I have to use both forms of input here to smash through this text as fast as possible because of the low frame rate. I have to sneak it in as, like, whenever I can. Right. But this is just a basic weight puzzle. There's really not much I can do here. I just have to get her to hit this light at this specific time, and it's a 10-second timer for each of these. Like now. Grab that key. I need to wait for her to open this door because there's a possibility I can lock her into just being on the door because the AI does not work that well at low frame rate. But this one is on a 5-second timer, luckily, but you have to hit her twice. Okay, cool. The next thing I'm gonna do is a trick. So there's like a lot of tricks in this particular area. This particular one is called V-hop skip. So there's normally a trick that you do if you don't play on 12 FPS called V-hop. I'm gonna skip that by going out into the hallway at 12 FPS, and I'm gonna jump around her. Because of the bad AI, I can get around her at 12 frames per second. You're not supposed to do that at 60 FPS. Just keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that, and there we go. The V-hop kit makes that section way easier, and it saves like 20 to 25 seconds. Really easy to do that. So it's way worth it to switch your frame rate, like for there alone, to do that trick. There is another way you can get her stuck at the end of the hallway. It's still random. We haven't figured out the cause yet. But we have some good theories, but we haven't, again, narrowed it down yet. So here's one of the neat platforming levels. If I can line up my mouse cursor on a certain pixel, that should be fine. Okay, cool, got it. Alright, so now I'm going to do infinite sprint. So I ran with the sprint badge and then immediately unequipped it. So now I have infinite amount of sprint time. So now this is just a chaotic platforming level. Everything's kind of falling apart. So you have to make sure that you just stay on top of the game. Alright, cool. And I was fast because the cannons didn't shoot it again there. There's a neat there called a balloon dive boost. You can dive boost into a balloon, and it gives you a little bit extra speed. You can jump into the ceiling here to skip jumping on the trampoline. And since I have infinite sprint, I can make this jump, which you're not supposed to make, obviously. And this is just a standard hit the platforms puzzle, which is really easy with infinite sprint. Gonna do this, and last section. Oh, whoops. Alright, do some swag strats. Shoutouts to Daniel CNR for this. Boom, go underneath the fire. Always shout him out every time because it just looks so cool. Grab this ledge. Alright, time for panel skip. You can jump on these side panels over here. They are solid for some reason. And then I can grab this ledge and clip through an invisible wall and get to the end of the level. Alright, so now I need to do another pause storage here. I did that pause storage there because I'm going to be going into the last level of the game, but I want to trigger the credits at a certain point in the run. Also because it's just faster to do that in-game time as well. So time to really break the level. So I'm going to immediately start off by flying. And I'm going to equip hover again right away. So we're going to fly through like 50-60% of the level. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to hookshot this one to get some extra height. And then I'm going to fly over to this hookshot point to get even more height. I'm going to go this way as well. So I just already skipped like half the level. I'm going to skip another 15% of the level, something like that. I'm going to hook a safety thing around here. I'm going to hit that checkpoint right there for safety. I can get out of infinite hover if I have it equipped and I manage to land on some kind of sloped surface. Or any kind of surface, really. If I manage to land on a surface. There's a little tricky jump here called gear skip. Alright, I got it. that just skipped like another 20% of the level. So that's basically it. That was Beta Hero Challenge, just broken wide open. I just skipped 80% of the level total. The first skip skips like 60%, but the other skips combined, you just skip most of the level. It's actually pretty insane how much we skip now of this level thanks to all these glitches. So now this is the end of it. Time's going to be when I touch the bookstore. I'm not done yet. There'll be credits after this one, so when I touch the bookstore window, that'll be time. Alright, and that's the last hourglass, and now time for the credits. And that's basically Hat in Time. This beta is really broken. No shocker. I mean, it is a beta after all, but the platforming is really fun. Like I said, the no major glitches category, we removed the frame rate and the badge tricks. It makes the platforming a lot more challenging, a lot more, at least a lot more rewarding, in my opinion. So if you do like this game, consider checking it out. It's coming out this fall. Get ready on time, and time. And this is timed using in-game time because the developers were nice of us to put an in-game timer. And I just got a 2058. That's actually really not bad for how long it's been since I've really done a run of this game. But yeah, that's generally it. The platforming is just, like, I just really like the platforming of this game. So consider checking it out. Hatintime.com, coming out this fall. Other than that, thanks for letting me have the 3 runs that I've had. I had Borderlands 2 twice, and then I had Poi in this one. So thank you, Themeathon, for having me for now 4 times. I appreciate it a lot. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon. Take care.
Sometimes a lot can be done with very little. The best investment you can make is in children. To work with human beings from the very beginning of their life.
We work in far corner of the world. We provide training and chance for children to grow up healthy.
We work in far-flung, isolated rural areas. We can build small-scale projects with a few families and in the community in general, and then they can have impact on the life of thousands and sometimes millions of children in other places.
I believe it's very important to work with children in the early years. You help them to grow into their full potential.
Investing in children's lives is investing in the future.
We respond to any emergency of scale anywhere in the world. We're unique in that we are specifically looking out for the welfare of children in an emergency. And sometimes those needs are very different than the needs of adults and the rest of the community.
It's not just about financial resources that help children, advocacy and policy change. That can affect millions of kids' lives. That's why the work of Save the Children is so important. We're there in the communities, working with community members to make sure that kids get an education, they have access to health care, to make sure they're protected from harm.
The world is facing many challenges. We often wonder, what's the best we can do to heal the world, to make a better future for mankind? The future of the human race is really in their hands.
Informed that right at the last second, someone sniped the last donation for the glitch exhibition, so let's get that underway. I have a couple interesting ones that I can show off right off the bat. We're gonna go to my completed file first. The first one we're gonna do is in Mafia Town. So So we're gonna do that cat race. So that cat race I told you that was like a little hard. You're supposed to use a specific badge for it. You don't have to actually try that hard at all. You can make it really easy on yourself if you know that the frame rate limiter exists. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch my frame rate to 30 FPS. Don't worry, like this. I just, I like a slower frame rate. I want to, be able to have, I guess, a nice choppier experience. And then I'm just gonna, I'm gonna race the cat. I'm gonna follow her pretty close, make this race pretty tight, and watch her go up the stairs. Yeah, she's going up those stairs, all right. She's really going up those stairs. She just like gets stuck on 30 FPS for some reason. She just will not go up these stairs. So if I change my frame rate right back, she just like rockets off and everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. Like just nothing mattered. Whatever. So go ahead and just go ahead and restart this. There's a nice little. So I showed off my favorite thing in BL2, which was the hole in the wall. There's another one because I love when people forget about small little holes in different spots. So there's this staircase, which if you kill this robot right here, their staircase lifts up to the top. So it's kind of like a neat thing. It gets shifted off to the side, shows off some cool like movable tech. There's a badge under here you can get, stuff like that. So there's a funny thing about it. If you don't actually move it up and you just go to the back side of it, I'm going to go ahead and just take off infinite sprinting badge. You go to the back of it over here, there's just a straight up hole in the wall right there. Because they forgot to put a hole in the wall because this thing is jutted up against the side up top. So you can just kind of like walk right in it and get stuck. Because the only way you can get out of this is to infinite hover. And even then, once you're in there, you're kind of stuck forever. You also can't use your umbrella when you're stuck in infinite sprint, which is kind of like a fun thing. Let's go ahead and reset. There's another interesting thing that we can actually do here. So infinite badges affects, I said, all badges that have a right-click ability or a usability. So, example, this is the Owl's Brew badge. You can throw potions at enemies, and it's like it's another way of getting rid of the Mafia's shield. What you can do is you can infinite that, so you can just like infinitely shake your flask, and then if you put your umbrella in your hand, you're just like shaking the umbrella glued to a beaker, just kind of like this forever. So you can just like run around shaking your umbrella and your beaker like this forever. It just looks really ridiculous. Don't worry, this is fine. Just gonna smack everyone with my umbrella as I walk around with it. So there's another interesting thing. I still have the beaker in my hand. I'm actually gonna get rid of that real quick because that shaking sounds annoying. We'll put sprint back on. There's this beach ball right here. So this is supposed to show you how 2 button switches work. You can put this beach ball on, whoopsies, on this button, like this. Hold up like this to make sure it's on the button, and you hit this button, and hey, this chest pops up. What they forgot to let you do is not let you climb ladders while holding something, so you just kind of like hover up a ladder with a ball in your hand. It's kind of neat. But what I'm going to do is actually go up this ladder. Whoopsies, hello. Alright, I'm going to grab this beach ball instead. Oh, that was interesting. I did not know about that glitch. Apparently you can't hover in front of a ladder. I'm going to grab this beach ball. And I'm going to take it over here this way. I'm going to take it up this ladder, which the cannon should now be unlocked because I'm past level 1-4. I can take this into the cannon up here, and I can go to the top of the map. Just like in the Mafia boss level. So normally, this door will only unlock if you have Mustache Girl and yourself in 1-4 hit these 2 buttons. And the gate's still there. And they even have Mafia telling you to keep out. But you can just take this beach ball over here and then just grab this. And you can go up this way and hit the button, and then you can go inside Mafia Boss 1-4. Just a little interesting thing. This is like not important, and you can't leave the level once you get back in. But it's just like a neat little thing. So let me show you why infinite hover is kind of dangerous. So I'm going to go ahead and clip out of the map again. This is actually slightly fast in co-op. There is co-op in this game, but it's like really stupid to do this. So you can see it right there. The hourglass is all the way over there. All the way over there. If I jump off the map like this, and right here... Oh, whoops. I lost it. I'm going to have to do it again. But I can simply... This... Oh, come on. There you go. Get off the map like that. Now I'm going to fall underneath the map. Take the badge off, and I'm going to hover all the way over here. And that's the boss fight, all the way over there, by the way. That's where you'd get teleported for the boss fight. What you can do is you can hover all the way over here to where you go meet the Mafia boss. He's just like right over there. Don't worry about it. And I'm also gonna unlock my frame right here because I'm going to need to get some height off this. So I'm going to go underneath the map right about here. And I'm just going to flip out of this dive. And I'm going to walk around here until I can hit this trigger. There we go. Alright, so I've hit this cutscene trigger out of bounds. This is why infinite hover is dangerous. I'm going to get teleported to the right spot, and then I'm just going to kind of fly away. I'm soft blocked. I mean, it's a soft block, you can simply quit out of it, but I'm just going to kind of float away because my people need me, and just get stuck in the corner of the stage. See you later. And I'm just gone. There's no way out. Oh yeah, so he also hit me to the right, so now I'm flying really far to the right, and I'm just like completely gone. That's a neat thing. My people need me. There's also this slide over here, which it doesn't have anything in it, but they really prevent you from like going up here. So what you can do is just kind of like run your way. You can kind of get into this corner right here. It's a little finicky to go through, and then you can just kind of work your way up here very slowly. See if I can get my way up there. See if I can get this. If I can't get this, it's not a big deal. Come on. Oh, come on. Alright, if not, whatever, not a big deal. Alright, and then this one, this is just like a hidden secret in the game. This was actually like discovered sort of recently, interestingly enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the sun, which is all the way over there. What I'm going to do is... Oops, I thought I had a double jump there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fly this... Whoopsies, hello. Apparently I'm just like really bad at this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover, and I'm going to fly towards the sun. A little neat secret hidden back here. It'll take a little bit to get to, but you can eventually make it all the way over this way towards the sun. And there's a nice little thing hidden behind here. Don't think it takes that long to get there, if I'm correct. I could be wrong, that it might take a while. Actually, let's go ahead and just do... enable cheats. And let's just ghost our way over there. So hopefully we should see this soon. If not, it's not too big a deal. It's just like a nice little hidden Easter egg by the developers. It's like so far out of view that you can't render it, or that it doesn't get rendered by the game. So hopefully this extra speed will get me there. Eventually we shall see thing. It might take too long to get to. If not, it's not a big... If I don't get to it, it's not a big deal. There's like a hidden statue over here. Let's see. Should be... I don't think it's that much farther from now. There's like a little hidden Easter egg behind the sun. Let's see. Should be... I don't like really far away. You can see how far like this Easter egg is. Like it's really interesting that it's like hidden this far away in the back of the map. might actually be a little too far away. Let's see. This might be something better for me to show off. Trying to think of another interesting thing to show off. You can fly outside of the train wreck map and see like all the interesting stuff behind the scenes over there. Another with the items. There is a hidden item I can showcase. So this is not... This was cheat engined in. This is called the propeller item. It's like a random item that just boosts you really high in the air and also really screws with your animations. So you can get like a lot of extra height. This does not exist in the full game anymore. It was just an interesting idea. But you can get like a lot of extra height, so you can do things that you're like not even supposed to come close to being able to do. I'm trying to think of anything else off the top of my head. I don't actually think there's any more really super interesting. Actually, I can try one more. I can try another ledge clip. So normally there's a category called umbrella-less, and you could skip getting the original. You could skip getting the umbrella weapon if you manage to grab this door on the right angle. I'll try it. I won't try it for too long, but you can basically grab this door and you can clip to the edge of the map, and you can make the category of umbrella-less possible. This is the setup that I use for it because it gives you the most trials of success. It's a very precise angle to jump on this door. You can like grab this door and you can get through the map. There you go, like that. All right, so now I'm through the map, and now we're on top of this. So you can just grab that door and just go straight out of bounds. There's most ledges that are on a wall. You can grab them and go through them and just like go straight through the wall. There's another actually quick one I can show off before I call it quits. There's another really easy door clip that's like a lot of casual players have done. Let's go ahead and get some infinite sprint up in here. Whoopsies, hello. That's going to be a hard fall. Whoopsies. Alright, so over here, there's like a decently weird soft lock. You can just like grab this door frame really easily. If I can get it. But you can grab this door frame if it lets me do it. Grab that door frame. Might not get it. So anyway, you can grab this door frame as well, and you can just clip right through it, and you just get kind of stuck in here because this is a solid building with a solid floor, so you can't actually go anywhere with this. But this is a neat one. Yeah, unfortunately this one's not letting me clip through it, but this one's also very easy to just grab through and just clip, and you just get stuck in the wall. Again, it's pretty neat, but that's really generally all I have for the glitch exhibition, at least for this one. There's like a couple of other neat things, but they don't really matter. I can really make this plug over here freak out. There was a, oh, that's right, they removed a plug. There was a plug over there, and it had a wire. You could really freak it out, and the game did not like that at all. They took them, so there's like the plugs right here in the wall. They took them out. It would just be freaking out wires. Oh wait, I can freak out the boat. I'll end on this. So you can sink the boats over here. You just kind of jump on them repeatedly. You can get these things to sink, I believe. You just sink them enough. Yeah, eventually, like, let's try on 12 FPS. Yeah, eventually these things can just, like, sink. I guess I don't forget how to get these to sink. But yeah, you can get these, like, completely under the water. It's pretty interesting. You can see it there. It's like it's already kind of doing its thing. But yeah, that's actually, like, generally it. There's not really much else to talk about. I can kill NPCs. If I do it here, that should kill them. So, yeah, super stomping is great. You can just kill, like, anything you want. Anyway, again, thanks for having me. Hope you enjoyed the Hat in Time run in the glitch exhibition. Okay.